Alright, way back in the first website video, I set up this site, and some of the decisions I made at the time I'm now regretting. I've never really liked sidebar navigation. I'd really prefer to have navigation up in the header. I don't like the fact that I named the site initially Langford and that name is still hanging out there, so I'd like to change some of these things. So we're going to look at changing them. So I'm going to go to Edit Site Layout. I'm going to click on the Edit Site Header, and you'll notice that this domain default logo is there, which is fine. I could also choose not to use that logo if I wanted, but I'm going to leave it. If you are going to use a logo, it will probably look best if you let the header use for its height, you let it take the logo size as the height for the header. That way the logo won't get squished, if you will. Alright, so that takes care of that. But what about the navigation? Well, you'll notice right below where it says horizontal navigation content, I can configure this header. Here is the first problem. The only way to get there that I've been able to discover is to use the search field. And the search field can't find partial words, so you have to type in an entire word. And to further complicate matters, it can't find the home page no matter what I've tried. So to get that, the workaround I've discovered is go and actually copy the URL of the page itself that you're attempting to use. Click on Edit Horizontal Navigation, then click on Add URL. Where it says URL, paste in the URL of your home page and then put in the text you want to display. In this case I've chosen home, and now we're ready to add the others. Now let's add the other pages that are in my sidebar. The first one is the Techno blog, so I'm going to search for Techno. It's going to come up with that page, and I'm going to say add it. The next one is a page called Tasks, so I'll type in that word. There it is. I select it, hit enter, and it gets added. Next page, Calendar, type in the whole word. There it is, hit enter, and it gets added. You'll notice several other pages came up. That's because they have the calendar embedded in those pages. Training documents, add that one, hit enter. So all I'm doing here is replicating the navigation in my sidebar up in the header. Once I've added all the pages, the last thing I'm going to do is to replicate the sitemap and recent activity links. And you'll notice that that's already provided for me. So I've duplicated all of the navigation that's in that sidebar. I've now duplicated in the navigation header. I'm going to click on Sitemap and Recent Site Activity, and I'm going to say OK, and there are the links. Now there are some options for these links, so let's click on again the navigation header and to go back into the edit mode, and let's look at some of the options. Tabs, it's always been a favorite of mine. There's also just plain links, not very eye-catching, so I think we'll go back to tabs and leave it at that. There we go, tabs. Alright, now I've got my header navigation, but I've still got my name hanging up there, which still kind of bugs me. So how do I fix that? Well, let's close and let's go to the More button, and let's actually go to Manage Site this time. There's my site name, and I can freely rename this site, and it's not going to affect my link or my other navigation. So you don't need to worry if you change your site name. And you'll also notice there's a button off to the side there that says Show Site Name at top of pages. If I turn that off and save, now when I go back to my site, my name is gone.
Yes, ma'am. She's on a conference call.
Looks much better.